Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. My name is Breakaway Ray. Welcome to this live tarot throw on January 8th, 2026. That's right, it's a live tarot throw. We also have tarot for the audience at the second part of the show. And in the meantime, we're going to open up discussion with our spirit guides. You know, I want to say I'm so grateful because my invisible helpers here, whom I refer to as the tarot world, let's face it, they show off, they should show off, they do such a wonderful job. They make it so easy for me to read messages from the cards that we just drop on the table. So I know that the tarot world is the real star of the show. And I just want to say I'm so grateful. I mean, it's great to talk to everybody in the morning and share my ideas, but how wonderful it is to know that there's an invisible world here and it's reaching out to everyone who's tuning in to STARCARD Podcast, and somehow people are receiving messages that help them. That's amazing. So why wait any longer? Let's hear from the tarot world right now. Let's go to the tarot cam. All right, so we're going to throw 5 cards from the Robin Hood deck right here. We've had some luck with throwing 5 cards, getting great messages from the tarot world. And you can see I've got my 2 of Cups card from the foil deck here. The 2 of Cups card represents, for me, communication with the spirit world, or communication that is divinely connected. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. We're going to leave that out. And let's shuffle some cards and get an immediate message from the tarot world, who prompts me to put on a tie and grab a mug of tea and then throw some cards and entertain everybody. All right, tarot world, the floor is yours. Thanks a lot for showing up every time we turn on the camera. You're the star of the show. The spotlight's on you. 5 cards for our wonderful audience, please. There we go. So this is for entertainment purposes only, everybody. Ooh, this card has a bend in it. I can't remember which card that is. I wonder if anyone's following along. I've talked about this card before. Can't wait to see what that card is now. It's got a little bend right there. It's for entertainment purposes only. It's fun throwing tarot cards. And then we can glean messages from the spirit world better than we can with a Ouija board. Yo, stay away from me, Ouija board. That's crazy stuff. Here we go, tarot world. Get out of here, everybody. Today's theme, the 2 of Cups, communication with the spirit world. See, I told you, the spirit world, the tarot world, they're showing off. They're allowed to show off if they're going to do stuff like this. You guys saw me shuffle. Way to go, tarot world. What's next? The Knight of Pentacles talks about commitment and hard work. It is a commitment and hard work to stay in touch with anyone, including your spirit guide. You have to treat that spirit guide like a member of your family and reach out. Put them in your top 5. Do they still have that? I don't even know. Wow, the Ace of Pentacles. You know, if you're communicating with your spirit guide, for some of you, this is going to be like a gift from heaven. All of a sudden, everything's going to become clear. You're going to get messages and reverberations and vibrations that channel you in the right direction. That's right. Maybe that's why I'm doing this stuff. I mean, for my own ends. I mean, I can't fix my life, but I'm learning a lot, that's for sure. Let's keep going. Sweet. So you do need to turn inward, says the Hermit. You need to do some soul searching. If you're going to find that spirit guide, going to take some work, but it's so worth it. Ouch. Well, the 3 of Swords represents heartache. And maybe, you know, on the one hand, maybe they're saying, you know, don't expect immediate results. And I'm proof of that. And I think today's show is going to be more evidence of that if you're following along. But you know what I like to do, everybody. You know I like taking cards like this and turning them upside down. You have the power. Turn it upside down. Was it a heartache? Yes, it was in the past. And now I'm moving on because I'm communicating with my spirit guide on whatever that path is that I'm traveling on, because this pentacle I'm holding is precious. And if I look inward, that light from inside me shows me how precious it is. Thank you very much, Tarot World. That's what I'm talking about. Let me give these a toss. Oh, okay. I see Flixlove is already tuning in. Hi, Flixlove. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for participating. All right. I'm going to come upstairs. Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody. If you're just tuning in to the recording, great. Have a good time. In about 20 or 25 minutes, we'll be doing audience readings. So if you're in the audience now and you want a reading, type in all capital letters, tarot, please. Maybe you'd like to, request one of the decks that I have. I should show you what those decks are. But in the meantime, I want to let you know that I put some thought into what I was going to present today about communicating with spirit guides. Some of you know that I spend time and money not only interviewing psychics, but also examining the messages that they send me. I type it all out. That is to say, I actually get on the keyboard and I type it out and I listen to the recording. So like an hour of recording sometimes takes me a couple of days to type out. But then once it's typed out, I can reread it and focus on certain things in a different way than just listening to it. So anyway, I feel like I have more experience than a lot of people in interviewing psychics. I would need more than one hand to count all the times that I've spoken to psychics and how many different psychics I've spoken to. So anyway, I'll be pursuing that theme today. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to do this the last time. Our last show was more about remember to pretend and play like you're a little kid, because that's what, your soul is all about in the first place. Great message, a lot of fun. That's not the show that I wanted to do last time. I wanted to do the show that I actually want to do next time, but there's some things I wanted to share here. And I found like very clear things to present. So what I want to present is like some things that a version of my spirit guide has shared with me about my life and the perspective that I have and how different it is, between where I'm living down here and where my spirit guide's at in some kind of astral plane. Like, for example, right off the bat, everybody, time is involved, right? We got time down here we're worried about. Where they're at, time is like not even an issue. So, they might say, yeah, something will happen like in a little while. It's going to happen soon. And then when you ask them a more precise question, you say, how soon? How soon do you mean? Oh, about 3 years. Well, 3 years is a long time. Okay. So anyway, we'll be exploring that. Basically, I'm going to be presenting how I have a different perspective, apparently, from my spirit guides, if you're believing that kind of thing. And I'm studying it very hard to determine whether or not I do. Okay, that's what I'm trying to examine myself. Maybe I'm taking maybe I'm putting in some work and I'm creating a path where everyone else could just take a shortcut and they can find out what they really need to know in a hurry. So anyway, if you ever thought about interviewing a psychic, this is kind of where I'm at after about 4 or 5 years and about, at least 20 different meetings with psychics, at least 20. Yeah. All right. So I got some notes, I got notes. All right. Oh, wait, let's take a look at the decks of cards so that you could make up your mind about what deck you want when you request your readings. We're going to go downstairs and show you the decks of cards that are available, okay? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I wonder if some people are not thinking of themselves like half jokingly, hey, Breakaway Ray, you should have like a diary where you can write things down. You're sharing it on the internet in front of everybody, how you're exploring schizophrenia. I'm just joking around now, okay? So anyway, we have the classic tarot, which is the one which has the words on it. And it's the one that I like to use when I need a really precise answer. I need a lot of information. I learned fast with that deck, okay? Then I have the Robin Wood Tarot, which you already saw, ladies and gentlemen, right down there. I've got the Neon Tarot. All of these have dramatic images and colors, like the old style tarot, taking the images from the Robin Wood and from the classic, and then mixing them up into like a Captain America compound and going overboard. Great images. The Mermaid Tarot, that's a popular one. Lovely dramatic images again. The Stained Glass Tarot, as I often mention, my very first deck that I experimented with when I learned. I've only been doing this since March. Here's the Lost Soul Tarot. Talk about dramatic imagery. And then I've got the ethereal bloom on hand out here in the corner. Okay. And look at that. We're already 10 minutes in, everybody. Okay. So now you know what decks are available. On to my presentation about communicating with spirit guides. So for sure, these spirit guides have been around for a long time. They know all the answers. They certainly know more than I do. I don't see what they see. And as you can imagine, I'm putting on my tie just when I turn on my camera for a bunch of strangers who allow me into their lives. So I don't want to take anybody's presence or time for granted. You know, if someone's really smart and learned and can help me figure out what's going on, I'm definitely going to be respectful. And I invite everyone, I encourage everyone, you know, restrain your emotions and, you know, speak to someone who's like an esteemed grandparent. I know I love talking about grandparents. Oh, gee, that reminds me, I got to talk to you about the description real quick. But we'll get to the notes in the description in a moment. So number one, yes, you want to speak to your spirit guides as if you're speaking to a minister or a priest or a rabbi, someone, you know, who deserves a lot of respect for whatever reason. I'm going to say for obvious reasons. You know, you need to treat everyone as if they're ministers or priests or nuns or what have you. You should treat everyone that way. That's for sure. I think that's like a blanket statement. It sounds like it's an easy thing to say. It's also like a hard thing to do, but everyone should. So, you know, if you treat everyone that same way, don't go dumping on your spirit guide. Okay. You know, you treat the spirit guide at least as respectful as the most respected person in your life. All right. Now, having said that, when I got some information from a spirit guide character from one of the psychics I've interviewed, and I've already shared that all of my psychics tell me different things about different kinds of spirit guides that I have. So this recent turn gave me some information, and I was having some difficulties putting two and two together with, you know, the timeline issue and the perspective on things. You know, obviously this spirit guide character that I'm going to tell you about has his own perspective, and I have a different one. I'm not sure they're meshing right now. So that might, I feel bad because in a way I was like kind of upset until I typed everything out and read the message more carefully, and I understood better exactly what the spirit guide said. Okay. And so I just want to say your spirit guide is going to be very forgiving and probably understands if you're going to get upset while you're playing around down here on 3D Earth, because they know that you're having a tough time and they can be patient and that you're going to figure it out. So, you know, sometimes you even have to ask forgiveness. And why shouldn't you? Anyway, you should ask yourself that. Well, so anyway, I want to tell you about the links I put in the description today that run along with the same theme of today's show. The first one is there's a lady named Natalie Sudman. Now, I have not seen any videos with Natalie Sudman in a couple of years, but while I was sorting out my notes this morning, her video came to me. This is someone who was a soldier, I think, in Iraq, and she was in a roadside bomb incident, I should say. She was seriously injured, and she had a near-death experience. I know here at STARCARD Podcast, we have not talked about near-death experiences much, or Dr. Raymond Moody, right? Dr. Raymond Moody, we'll have to talk about him someday. Anyway, back to Natalie Sudman, Sudman. So while she was having this near-death experience and she was on the other side, I guess she was talking to her spirit guide. I was trying to remember what happened, but she was talking with her spirit guide, and they're all, yeah, this is only part one of your show. You're going to go back down and do some more. And by the way, you know, you just had an accident with an explosion, so we have to pick out what injury you're going to have. So she had to choose, like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to like be missing a hand? Is that how I'm going to, you know, plod through life, you know, without a hand? Is that going to be a problem for me? What kind of problems do I see? And so she would sit down with her spirit guide, and they would watch Natalie explore the rest of her life without her hand, for example. And then they said, all right, well, what if you're blind instead? And so they would sit down, and then they would play out that show and see, what if Natalie spends the rest of her life being blind? And from what I remember, I mean, of course, these are tragic things that are happening, but I'm telling you what Natalie Sudman said in her interview. Natalie Sudman said that during the near-death experience, when she's sitting alongside her spirit guide and they're watching these things, for them, it's like cartoons. It's like watching Mr. Magoo. If you remember that cartoon, Mr. Magoo, the blind guy, and he somehow navigates all these treacherous situations and he doesn't get hurt, and even though he can't see, for example. And they're giggling about it on the other side, but yet Natalie has to come down and live it all out and play it all out. By the way, Natalie Sudman has written a book. I'm sure that if you click on the link, it'll take you right to the book. I'm sorry, I don't remember the title of the book. I don't own the book. I just found out about the book this morning, I think. But I was keen to watch her interviews a couple of years ago. So I invite you, if you've not heard of Natalie Sudman, she has some interesting things to say about, going to that other place and negotiating your timeline and the things that are in your life. As I'm going to mention later, other people have suggested this. And I'm suggesting that you could do it right now too. Anyway, let's go to my notes. Did I show all the decks? Yeah, I did that part. Okay. All right, so I want to tell you about a recent interview I had. I'm not going to use any names this time, but there are 4 characters. There's 4 characters. I like the light, I know, but I look like Planet Mercury. I'm all lit up over here. Anyway, there's 4 characters in the situation I'm going to tell you about. It's a psychic who's a female. I believe the female is married. And she works with an oracle, a discarnate energy spirit who presents himself as if he's like a university professor. I don't mind if people are drawing conclusions and making deductions. That's fine. I'm just trying to avoid using any names, including the name of my spirit guide. Apparently my spirit guide is there, another discarnate spirit. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. I'm not going to say his name yet. But this is just another version of my spirit guide, and this is me talking with him. So I mentioned that the first oracle, the professor person, okay, that's how he is presented to the lady psychic that I met with. When she sees him like he's a professor. And then when she takes a look at my spirit guide, she has another description of him, and that is that he has a long ponytail. He has a long ponytail, and his eyes are larger than the regular human. A little bug-eyed guy. Yeah, I don't mean that in a diminutive way. I shouldn't have said little, but I meant to say like a little bit bug-eyed, like a little bit, not like a little bug-eyed guy. Okay. She also mentions that he is a Pleiadian. Now, there's lots of different kinds of Pleiadians, according to what this lady psychic shared with me, and he's one of them. All right, so I'm going to check my notes now and let's see how many conflicts I already came up with. All right. Okay, so the first conflict I have, this guy has a ponytail, and apparently it's pretty long. Maybe even come down to his belt line. I don't know, and I don't care. But he's got a ponytail. I showed up to the meeting with a tie, but the psychic lady that I'm meeting with, she's emphasizing what this guy looks like. He's got a long ponytail, he's got some big eyes, and he's good looking, but he's not like so good looking that you say this guy's too good looking. Okay. And then I imagine myself, he's one of those people, you see him, you're on the sidewalk and he's ahead of you and you go, wow, that person has a nice ponytail. I can't imagine what the full picture looks like. And then he turns around, he's got those big eyes and it takes you off guard a little bit. It's not what you were expecting. But anyway, congratulations to my spirit guide. I got nothing against ponytails. I better not, right? I mean, I know people who've watched STARCARD podcast have checked my playlist and my videos, and there's that famous picture of Breakaway Ray on the castle, on the bridge outside the castle in Bavaria there. Okay. Well, I didn't have a job then. Okay. I was in college. I wasn't responsible anyone. I had hair. I'm going to let it grow. It was cool. I was 19 years old. Okay. But this guy is, my spirit guide. Again, I'm showing up with a tie. He looks like he's going to go to the Coachella festival. Okay. I got some problems here. I'm wondering if if I got his full attention. Okay. So right off the bat, my own cultural bias tells me, I wonder what's going on, Anyway, let's see what else I got here. All right. So another message I received from this spirit team, this duo of the two ghosts in the room, is that everything so far in my life has gone according to plan. And also that I can call on my spirit guide for help. And, in the interview with the psychic, I'm not going to protest. I want to hear what these people have to say. But I do have a podcast where I can protest and share what happened, because you only have like a certain amount of time, with the psychic, and you want the psychic to talk. You don't want to just sit there and get in another argument with somebody else. I want to argue with someone. I can argue with someone in my own life. Anyway, so I want to listen to what the person has to say, but they say everything's gone according to plan. Not something I understand. I don't understand that part. And the other thing they say is that I can call on them for help. And I'm pretty sure that I was calling on them for help. There was a couple of years there where I was being poisoned at work. I invite you to go see the very first STARCARD podcast adventure. Probably, I think it's chapter 4 of 5, Breakaway, Ray, and the no good, very bad, very unsafe. Anyway, you can check it out, but I've discussed this in other podcasts. I was having a tough time, and for 20 years, I was asking for help from, people in the workplace, but also, I was learning how to pray and ask for help. So anyway, that seems like another situation where I'm just talking past my spirit guide. I'm not quite understanding why we're not connecting here. Oh yeah. So one of the things that the spirit duo, the two ghosts that I mentioned previously, mentioned to me right away as soon as they got their chance to talk while we were interviewing with the psychic, who's a very lovely person. So we were talking, and the first thing they said is that you're trying to get your business going. And again, I didn't want to protest and take up the time. I don't know what business they're talking about. I don't know. And also, I'm not trying to get my business going. I'm only doing this because some other psychic said that I'm supposed to do a podcast. So I don't really know what's going on. And I got to be frank, I'm not trying that hard. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be pulling out all the stops. I'm giving you what I got. I'm not going to do anything beyond that's not me. I don't have to work that hard. I don't really know what direction I'm supposed to go. So I don't see this business thing. I'm having a problem with just connecting like accounts. And I don't think it's just because I'm an old guy. I think, that's like a pattern that's going to be changed. But I mean, again, the spirit world, they are saying, hey, you want to get your business going. I'm all, I don't even want to do a business. There's something, I could have just done my job. Can you guys help me with my last job? I had that thing all wrapped up. I was like that far away. Anyway, so let's go back down to more cross purposes with my spirit guide. Oh yeah, the Pleiadian part. Okay, I want to remind everyone, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is what entertains me. This is what I'd rather have go through my brain than the other stuff that was going through my brain. And I'm too darned thoughtful and pensive for my own good, with too much time on my own to examine my thoughts, which I love and I treasure and I prize. Nevertheless, it's still too much. So he's not winning me over yet. This spirit guide fella, who apparently, he and I have exchanged positions. There's been times where he's gone down and I've been the guy in the chair, right? And then, we've been around for about 1,000 lifetimes together, not just 1,000 years, but 1,000 lifetimes. We're old homies. All right, that's great. So anyway, let me see what I got here. Okay, so the first thing that throws me is that the message was sent that, my spirit guide and I, we are Pleiadian. This is the first time out of all the psychics that I've ever heard this part before. I find that a lot of psychics give me a lot of great information. And then sometimes when I look back on it, it doesn't shake out or it doesn't match up somehow. And it could be that everybody else has missed this part, and maybe it is true. And I have reason to believe why, it could be true. When you consider the following. So the Pleiadians, I just recently learned, are space Germans. I just shudder. Okay, so these are the people who are experts in mind control. and they've hijacked the reincarnation process. Could I have a tie to these guys? And I'm not impressed. It doesn't sound good. Am I down here like fixing stuff, or am I like engineering some kind of, other catastrophe? Am I just a pawn? It makes you wonder. I had someone else mention the Germans in space before, and I gotta admit, I want to be in denial with a message like that, because I was born in the United States in the middle of the 20th century, and I grew up with a totally different perspective on how World War II ended. Right? Okay, so I wonder if I'm going to be going a little bit long here. The whole point of this, as I'm showing, like, my spirit guide and I might just be, talking just past each other, but the point is we're talking. Okay, so regardless of my tone or whatever, the information is what we're trying to focus on here. We can put the emotions aside for a minute. We can come to the table and we can talk about these things. All right, but check this out. I got some more. Okay. All right. So another message I got from this spirited duo, these two ghosts in the room, is that going forward, I was going to be meeting some more people, some more souls are going to be entering my life. And they recognized at the time, they said, and Ray, we see that doesn't even make you happy right now. I'm all, no, why do I want more souls in my life? Okay, I'm separated. All my bridges are burned with the last group of souls. Do I need a new group of souls to burn bridges with? I'm not sure where we're going with this. So that felt a little bit off kilter also. I should actually be welcoming this, right? I'm just a little shell-shocked from my experiences, okay? So I got to chill out, right? I need to take some time out. I need to breathe. I need to relax. I need to go on vacation. Okay, but anyway, what's going on here? Yeah, okay. So they said that, going forward, these new souls are coming in and you're going to have some companionship. You're going to have companionship, and that's something that you're going to need going forward. Okay, now this is the part where I was contrary. I'm all, okay, but I just spent the last 60 years figuring out that I don't need companionship and I can do it for myself. And nobody's there to help anyway. In fact, most people need my help or they're going nowhere in the first place. So, again, I feel like we're talking past each other. You're going to send more people in my life, but I don't want to help anybody else. You know what? I don't need to solve any more problems for other people. That's not what I'm looking for. And anyway, they do acknowledge this spirit world. They say that, you have not seen. Yeah, you have not seen how good it can be. So far, that's not what you have seen. And then another thing that they said is that the best half of my life is this second half coming up. So I'm going to say that again, because I know you were probably listening the last 35 seconds when I said I'm almost 60 years old. Okay. They said this over and over again. They said the best half of your life is ahead of you, the best half. Okay. All right. You're my spirit guide. I know I look young, but do you really know how old I am? Do you really think I'm going to live to 120 years old? Okay. I think the time thing, again, we're off on something here. What's going on? I don't get it. I mean, I know he's got good vision. He must see, I'm not really as young as I look. 120? Come on. Anyway, I could go off on that for a little while. Let's see. Yeah, I did that one already. Okay. All right. You know what? I got quite a few notes, and apparently I can save some, so that's fine with me. But I'm going to close with this one before I go to the Two of Cup card again and throw some tarot cards and find out from the tarot world, what the deal is about life plans and talking to your spirit guides. So we're going to throw some tarot cards in a minute, right after I present this last point, and then we'll get to tarot for the audience. Hey, it's great. It means I got 2 days of lesson plans, right? Maybe you'll come back for part 2 and part 3. Anyway, so we were talking to, I was talking to those ghosts and the psychic. And here's the notes that I wrote, everybody. It says here, I put in quotation marks, free will. But there's a life plan, okay? There's free will, but there's a life plan. So there's some people out there who I know who, I mean, and this goes back to Calvinism, right? And predestiny, and even the Puritans, who we group in with the Pilgrims who came over on the Mayflower to America. A lot of this was like combined in everyone's cosmology. Do you have free will, or are you here to play a part? Which leads me to my new fun concept that I know spirit guides don't want me to talk about, which would be a spiritual Stockholm syndrome. We've heard these stories before, from lots and lots of people where they were supposed to do something and they were scared or they didn't want to do it. They weren't listening to their spirit guides. And then, they got hurt or injured and then they were forced to do it. Or they were just minding their own business, having a great life, and then a terrible catastrophe happens to them. And they end up immobilized and unable to communicate. And all of a sudden they're writing books about communicating to spirits in the spirit world, right? So they automatically get shut down. Well, I'm Breakaway Ray, and I'm telling you that the earth has changed. The magnetic field around earth has changed. Your access to the astral plane has increased. The barriers are very permeable, everybody. It's very easy to communicate with your spirit guides compared to the 20th century. So reshape your thinking on this. Give it a shot. What have you got to lose? Speak to your spirit guides. But again, this whole, let me give you another example of this spiritual Stockholm syndrome. So there was I'll first mention Bob Frissell, Frissell, wrote a very good book, but he only got in a position to write the book when he became immobilized with a back injury. Okay, and he was away, on a hospital bed for a long time or something like that. And all these ideas came to him and he had his downloads. There's another person I read where he was like a very sickly young boy and they had to isolate him and quarantine him. And he spent hours of being awake as a child by himself in a large empty hospital ward. And then guess what? He started talking to imaginary friends and spirits and things. And then he grew up and became this spiritual person who wrote this book and explained about, what's all around us in the first place that we're not paying attention to. We're trained not to pay attention to it and to ignore it. And then there's a story that I heard about a lady who was supposed to be a singer. That's right. She was supposed to be a singer, and everyone thinks, gee, just to be an artist like that, to create like that, can you really count on that for an income? But I've heard so many stories about how people are spiritual leaders and you know what? The universe provides for them. But the whole point was this lady was supposed to break away from her job as a waitress, very respectable job, and it paid her bills. But she was supposed to go sing with a band because she was going to be lifting the spirits of people through her voice and through her singing. But she just couldn't do it. And then guess what? She had to have arm and shoulder surgery. There was always some medical problem going on that was preventing her from being a waitress. Like they were taking away the waitress job so that she would pick up the microphone and sing. So anyway, it's an interesting conundrum that you can explore. I know I'm going to explore it some more. Spiritual Stockholm syndrome. Do you have free will? Because if you don't do it, they're going to smack you around and point you in the right direction, I guess. All right. So let me check my notes and see what I got. I got 1, 2, those guys. And then it looks like I got 2 more here and I got some more in my head that I didn't write down. So we'll save those for another day. I think I illustrated my point a little bit about how we're talking past each other a little bit, right? Just a little bit. And it's probably like a cultural thing. And the best part is he knows what's on the plan and I don't. Anyway, let's see what the tarot world has to say about staying in touch with your spirit guide. I mean, come on, you got to update God on your plan every day, Anyway, let's go downstairs and throw some cards. Okay. All right, so we're honoring the 2 of Cups card, communicating with our spirit guides. Oh, yeah, that's better. Here we go. All right, Tarot World. I reminded everyone to be respectful and courteous to spirit guides. Treat you like librarians, professors, ascended masters, which you are. You're always there to help. You know what the plan is. We just want the guidance. And dude, I don't want to fight you on what the plan is. Just tell me what it is. I'll go in that direction. All right. Anyway, how about some helpful words to the audience, Tarot World? about communicating with your spirit guides. Communicating with your spirit guides. It's a good idea. Stay in touch with your spirit guides. Well, pray to God, even just, treat God like it's Mother's Day every day, right? Call your mom every day. Let her know how much you care about her and let her know what's going on. Keep her up to date. Here we go, everybody. Right. Be strong. It's the strength card. You're going to be at your strongest if you work as a tandem together, right? There's you, the human being, and there's the spirit world, that red lion guy. Okay. Stay in touch with your spirit guide. You're going to be stronger together. Wow. And then be proud of it, says the Six of Wands. Look at me. I'm on the internet talking about stuff that I know a year ago I would say that stuff is crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. But anyway, go ahead and be public. I went to a restaurant once, and only one time did I see a woman actually say grace before she dined in the restaurant. I wonder why I don't see it more often. I'm talking to the tarot world out loud all the time on a recording. So thank you, tarot world, for all your messages. Make it public. All right, the Seven of Wands talks about fending off all challenges. Again, you're going to be stronger, and it'll be a smoother ride. If you work with your spirit guides to overcome your challenges. I wonder if there's more words on this card that's going to help us. Let's check it out. Seven of Wands, challenge, protection, maintaining control, defense. Yeah, those sound good. Staying in touch with your spirit guides, that works. Ooh, right. Well, okay. There were 7 wands. And then here comes the 5 of Wands guys. These guys are a bunch of ballet dancers. Nothing against ballet dancers. They're tremendous athletes and musicians and artists. But what I'm saying is this is a rehearsed routine. There's always going to be some guys creating some drama. But remember, there's 7 wands. There's you and your spirit guide taking on those 5 guys. And it's like Yoda and a couple of stormtroopers against a whole bunch of army droids. It's no contest. Okay, you guys are going to win. So, and you're going to come out looking like the King of Pentacles, right? Han Solo's dream. How did this become a Star Wars tarot throw? Okay, the King of Pentacles talks about wealth, business, leadership, security, abundance, prosperity. Okay, we talked about security and defense, protection. That's your spirit guide, protecting you. Stay in touch. Okay, so I'll even stop right here and tell you about another spirit guide before we get to our final message. So on Rob's show, the Typical Skeptic podcast, he has a lady on named Pink Bella Aloha, and I met with Pink Bella Aloha a couple of years ago. And Pink Bella Aloha told me about something that you can do that I had never thought of before. So why don't I share it? So she shared with me that, if you're getting ready to make a trip, let's just say downtown, right? You can let your spirit guides know, hey, I need to go downtown to hit this federal building or what have you. This is the errand that I need to run. And I was wondering if you could help me out, plan out my trip. And, again, we're not talking to the navigator on your car or on your phone. You're talking to a spirit guide. You're saying, can you plot out my trip so that everything's nice and safe and smooth? So I just want to say that's another example of how, your spirit guides are just waiting to help out. And if you could be specific and explicit like that, things are supposed to be smoother. So let's go finish our message from the spirit world about talking with the spirit world. Here we go. 2 more cards to go. It's 2 of Cards Thursday. 2 of Cups Thursday. All right. The last 2 cards. Wow. Hey, you know what? If you keep up with your spirit guides, the Sun card and the 8 of Wands say everything's going to come out all right in a hurry. Everything's going to be great really soon. Thank you, Tarot World. Okay. Let's give these a toss. Great. And then let's find out who's in the chat. Maybe somebody'd like a tarot reading. All right, I'm all fired up and ready to go, I think. So I still have some snowmen from before, and I don't know if I did schoolhouses with the group yet, but you can see I had a lot of schoolhouses. This would have been at least 2 years worth if I was still in the classroom. So we're going to use some schoolhouses next. And the whole point is we're going to use all these things up that I didn't get to use up. Excuse me. All right. Get my mouse, scroll up, and you know what? What am I taking my time? Am I being leisurely, everybody? I hope you're not in a hurry. At least you can always press pause and check the recording later. I guess I'm enjoying myself right now. You know what? I'm going to take one of my timeouts. So I'm going to go get a drink of tea. Excuse me. Here we go. Wow, everybody. This looks like War and Peace in the chat. You guys wrote a lot of messages. I can't wait to read it after the show. Let's find out who's there. Hi again, Flix Love. Let's see. Hi, Julia Anchorhaven. All right. Mrs. NW5. Hi, Judy. Let's see. Yeah, I just saw the word grandmother. I want to brag about my grandmothers. I'm pretty sure I'm going to brag again tomorrow. That's quite a lot of messages. Hey, I know I saw Mr. A out there. Hi, Mr. A. Hi, God's Flow. Hi, Lisa Talcott. All right. Hey, Kimberly Bamford's here. All right. So all I did was just look through and say hi to people. Now I'm going to go through the snowman and see if I've got your snowman. Kimberly Bamford. Lisa Talcott. Whoops. Flix Love. God's Flow. Judy and Mr. A, right? Julia. Heavenly Cups is here. Thanks, Flix Love. I didn't see Heavenly Cups. I got your snowman, Heavenly Cups. Thank you. So I just pulled everybody's snowman. Now I'm not going to scroll through and look for specific messages, but now's your chance to say, "Hey, Breakaway Ray, you don't need to give me a reading," or I guess I gotta go back and check and see what deck you asked for. Okay, hang on, let me check. Old style deck, Heavenly Cups, got it. See, this is why I don't want to read the chat, because I'm going to start enjoying it. So again, I'm just checking to see if anyone made a request about a certain deck. All right, traditional deck. All right. Neon. Oh, Julia wants to go for the neon deck. Let's take care of Julia right now then. Here we go, Julia. Thanks for requesting. I appreciate it. Wait, let me get Julia's snowman. Right there. We're going to take this snowman and send it to Kruger and get a howitzer fit for that arm. That's a gruesome joke, Breakaway Ray. All right. That's right. It's a new year, Julia, and there's the Fool card. That's the tough thing about this deck. It's hard to see. Ugh. All right, we'll get the fluorescent light on there. There we go. Oh, hey, Judy. I just happened to see your message. I'm so happy to share about that before I throw the cards for Julia. So, hi, Judy. Thanks for asking. My family is from Castelvetere sul Calore, Calore. It's near Naples. It's up in the mountains of the area of Avellino. Both my grandmothers are from that area. My grandfather's from Castelvetere. My grandmother is from Andretta. I can't remember where my maternal grandmother's from, but it's Neapolitan. And then my other grandfather's from Benevento. All right. Here we go. I mean, that's important information. That's one way to get my attention, right? Get a man's attention through his stomach, make me think of home. Viva Italia. All right, these cards are for Julia. Happy 2026 to Julia. Let's throw some neon cards. Ooh, you got two right there. Right, one off the top. Is that one? Okay. So down here, Julia, we're talking about a happy 2026. You have the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. The 7 of Cups represents lots of opportunities. Not all the opportunities are good ones. You have to use discernment. And the 8 of Cups talks about walking away. I would say the walk away thing goes both ways. So here, I mean, I don't know if you're a sports person, but this person kind of looks like an athlete walking off the field after a game. Now, win or lose, you still walk away after the game is over, and then it's on to Cincinnati, as American football coach Bill Belichick is famous for saying. You get ready for the next game. So win or lose, it doesn't matter. You did the best you could. That game was over. Walk away, walk on to the next one. But meanwhile, here's a preliminary message. Here comes the prequel. Sweet. The Queen of Wands. She's all about being determined and courageous and having a zest for life. Anyway, really enjoy that lady's energy. Totally want to hang out with the Queen of Wands. Okay, it's the 3 of Pentacles. It's teamwork and starting something new and implementing something. It's the King of Wands, overcoming obstacles and seeing the big picture. Things down here on planet Earth are so trivial. I mean, it's like us looking at the business on an anthill. Okay, I mean, it seems so tiny and minuscule to us. Okay, then there's the Knight of Wands charging forward energetically. And, look at your aura glow there. Nice. You and horse together. And then the world talks about attainment and completion. And I want to say congratulations. So in 2026, win or lose, walking off the field proudly, getting ready for the next game. Meanwhile, you're the Queen of Wands. You got a zest for life. You work well with others. You see the big picture. You're overcoming all obstacles because, you're following your spirit and your soul's path. And that's what's going to bring you the completion. That's what's going to get you to the end zone, as we say in the United States when we talk about football. All right. Sorry about all the American football references, Julia. I'm not up to speed on football, although I'm a big fan. All right, let's give these a shuffle. Oh, it's the year of the fire horse, says Judy in the chat. Thank you. All right. which snowman is next? Yeah, thank you, Julia. You're welcome. Heavenly Cups, old style. Here we go. Get the old style box out. Yeah, the old style has a beautiful book that I have not read. All right, Heavenly Cups. How wonderful. I hope you have a nice set of tarot cards coming your way. You got big plans. Yeah, here we go. These cards are for Heavenly Cups. Oh, a large assignment ahead of us, right? Blazing some paths. Here we go, Heavenly Cups. This is for entertainment purposes only. Thanks so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. First up, well, it's the Wheel of Fortune. It's fate. It's destiny. It's also luck. Wow, it's the Strength card. So it is your destiny to be in the position like the woman in the Strength card. You know, being able to telepathically communicate, you know, to all kinds of creatures and be comfortable with them. Wow. No, this is making me laugh a little bit here. Here's the Knight of Cups, the Nine of Cups. I want to make sure I pronounce that correctly. Here is the Nine of Cups, oh Heavenly Cups. And this one talks about the wish coming true. Oh, you got the blank card. Is it spooky for you yet? Okay, and here comes the Justice card, which talks about cause and effect and balance. All right. You know, when I took Matthew Morning's class, he didn't say anything about blank cards. I'm just joking around. Matthew Morning is awesome. I'm the guy that left this in the deck because I want to see what happens when it comes out. All right, here I go. Let's see what happens. So, you have a strong destiny and a wish come true, and it's a blank slate. I mean, I presume you're just getting started, okay? So the world is your oyster. You can write your own book. Again, it's a blank page. It's a wish come true. You have a great opportunity. It's part of your life's path. So go write the book, okay? And then once that gets going, you know, you'll see the Justice card come out, the cause and the effect. But to echo again from the sports world here in the United States, you know, the game is over. What have you done for me lately? Does that sound familiar? Okay, so go get them, Heavenly Cups. I mean, lots of us would be envious to have an opportunity like this. Again, you know, a strong start. I mean, anyway, here's two more cards for you. It's the King of Swords. That's the truth. And the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is balancing things. So Justice talks about balance, and the Two of Pentacles talks about balance and having multiple priorities. So this could just show that, you know, you're a multi-dimensional person. You might be going through your life as Heavenly Cups, you know, bopping around, hanging out with your family and friends, going to work, going to school, whatever. But in the meantime, you know what? The truth is on your side, and you have to juggle that part of you while you get that identity generated and going. Am I being too creative? I'm having too much fun reading the cards. Anyway, Heavenly Cups, thanks for inviting me to read. I appreciate the practice. Yeah, right on, Heavenly Cups. Let's see which snowman is next. All right, so I got the Judy Mr. A card. I'm going to throw for Judy, and then we'll flip it over for Mr. A, unless either of you wants me to stop. And then I think Judy likes a 3-card throw. So as long as I have these cards out, why don't we throw Judy 3, and then we'll flip the snowman over and throw for Mr. A. Whoa. I asked for 3. Look what happened. Here's 3 cards. What did we get? Oh, how wonderful. Ace of Cups, marriage, proposal, new life, abundance, overflow. 2 of Cups, communication with the spirit world, divinely connected communication. 3 of Cups, party down and celebrate. All right, Judy, have a great Thursday. Or I hope you had a great Thursday. I know, check that out. Way to go. All right, and now let's see if there's some messages for Mr. A. These cards are for Mr. A. How about a fun, inspirational message for Mr. A? Come on, it's the beginning of the year. I know you got a lot of inspiration to share. We got a lot of inspiration to pass out. We got to fill our quota. These cards are for Mr. A. Here we go, Mr. A. Wow, okay. All right, Mr. A, it's all for entertainment purposes only. I'm just trying to tell a story. I enjoy the practice. Thanks for inviting me to read. Here we go. The Queen of Swords. She's the one who tells me you were right. Okay. So I'm under the assumption that you were right about something. Let's find out what you were right about. Wow, you get an Ace of Cups. Also, the overflow, the abundance, new life. There's a 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups. I'm trying to remember now. The 4 of Cups, no, that's 4 of Wands I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the book. 4 of Cups. Are those more people celebrating? Oh, no, wait, that's it. The 4 of Cups. There might be opportunities that you are, oh, it's this card. Okay, it's the 4 of Cups. It's the guy that's in meditation. He's reevaluating everything. He has to remember to be grateful for all the things that the universe has brought him. In fact, maybe the universe is holding, see that angel up there is holding that cup? That's that wonderful cup that we just saw a moment ago. Let's go ahead and read what it says in the book. I got it open here. 4 of Cups. There might be opportunities that you are turning down and offers that you are refusing. You can feel yearning and regret, and you might be focusing on the negative. Contemplate and meditate over this and reevaluate what is important to you. Realizing what makes you feel bored and unhappy and doing something about it can help you make a change for the better. All right. It's good philosophy for everybody. Okay, and the King of Wands says you can overcome all obstacles. You see the big picture. Yay. And the Star card reminds you to be rejuvenated. I got the book in my hand. I'm going to read to you about the Star card. The Star. You are likely to find yourself feeling inspired. You have renewed hope and faith and a sense of being truly blessed by the universe. You are entering a peaceful, loving phase in your life filled with calm energy and personal growth. How about that? Yeah. How about that? You were right. You do have a gift from God, a blessing and abundance. And you probably recognize it in your meditation because you see the big picture and that helps you to stay inspired. So the 2 of Wands says you have a good plan. The universe likes your plan. You have the green light, go. And wow. And then the Lover's card says so much. And one of the things it says to me is that the spirit world is here right now, making sure that this message is sent to you and that you feel supported because, you know, even when I turn off the camera, the spirit world is with you, supporting you in your endeavors. I hope that was a helpful, inspirational message. I kind of feel inspired by it, Mr. A. Thanks for inviting me to read. All right. Next up, I got Kimberly Bamford here. All right, let me give these a shuffle real quick. And then we're going to throw some cards for Kimberly Bamford. And why not go back to the neon deck? Why not? All right. Thanks a lot for dropping in the StarCard podcast, Kimberly Bamford. Let's throw you some cards. We'll find a helpful, inspirational message for you. These cards are for Kimberly Bamford. These cards for Kimberly. All right. Hey, everybody. So right now, my little screen, where am I? Right now on my little screen up there in the corner, it tells me how many people are watching the show. And it also has a giant thumb to show me how many people liked it. And I am like at 100%. Well, thank you very much. That's great. Okay. I want to quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, let's go back downstairs. These cards are for Kimberly Bamford. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Whoops, what am I doing? Okay, here we go, Kimberly. The Queen of Cups. She is the caring and empathic one. I would like to read to you about the Queen of Cups from the book. The Queen of Cups, emotional stability, femininity, love and warmth surround you. There might be a mature female in your life who is supportive and caring towards you, or you might be a sensitive, caring, nurturing soul yourself. An empath or a good mother, you are intuitive, in the flow, a daydreamer, a psychic, and a good listener. Yeah. All right. That's your driver's license picture right there, Kimberly. Next up, oh, how wonderful. It's the 10 of Cups. It's a dream come true. Wow. Anyone remember the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Hey, next up, it's the 8 of Pentacles. This guy's working hard for a long time. I guess we get to read about the 8 of Pentacles in the book. The 8 of Pentacles. This is a time of hard work, commitment, diligence, and dedication. You are developing your skills through repeating tasks to achieve mastery of your craft. You are methodically working towards something you want. You are on the brink of achieving great success and fulfilling your ambition. Wow, cool. It's like the calm before the storm. You know, I've been growing these things, and all these things are about to blossom. Sweet. The 3 of Cups. It's celebration time. Look at these girls coming back from the 1980s discotheque. I mean, because of the colors, right? We used to have one in the valley down here in Southern California called, it just escaped my memory. Oh, well. Phases. It used to be called Phases. All right. Anyway, that's a flashback. Here we go. It's the Emperor card, Control. This guy looks like one of the blue people you might think of in the pictures of ancient India. And he's kind of like invisible. You know, basically, he's a very powerful, translucent being. All right. So the Queen of Cups, you're so empathic, and it's a dream come true because what you've been working so hard at is about to bloom so you can celebrate. Everything's under control. Next up, it's the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. And that talks about domestic bliss and divine harmony. Oh, look at those dogs. They are so well behaved. Good dogs. And then, sweet, the Chariot. Moving forward. That is one exciting looking Chariot card. Wow, dude. Cool. So what's the message here? You've got divine harmony coming your way if you keep it going. Yeah, keep it going. Right on, Kimberly Bamford. Thanks. Yay, Kimberly. Thanks for that feedback. I appreciate it. All right, let's see who's next. Oh, yeah, and we're going to use the ethereal blue. Let's throw for Flix Love. Here we go, Flix Love. Oh, wait, you asked for the classic deck, Flix Love. No problem. Here we go. Yeah, you're welcome, Kimberly Bamford. Thanks for inviting me to read, and thanks for the feedback. I'm just, I wanted to, here, time out, everybody. So I wanted to say this before the show, and I guess now's the time to say it. So I got another helpful feedback chat from Kimberly Bamford. Lets me know, like, I'm in the ballpark with my reading. And I just want to say, like, when I don't do a live tarot throw, and, you know, maybe it's a day where I'm not turning on the camera and I'm sitting at home and I'm throwing cards for myself, it's spooky. So I'm actually happy to turn on the camera and let the tarot cards talk to somebody else. Because sometimes, I mean, you guys see it, it's like a little too on the nose, right? Anyway, you're welcome, Kimberly. Thank you very much, too. Let's go down and throw some cards for Flix Love. There we go. We're going to throw some cards for Flix Love. All right. It's an intercontinental tarot throw. I think we did at least 3 continents today. I don't know if we hit Australia. That would be 4. Here we go. These cards are for Flix Love. This one wanted to come out too. We're a little bit out of order. That's all right. These cards are for Flix Love. All right, Flix Love. Hey, it's the Hanged Man. There's an expression on this card that I really like. It says, viewing things differently than before. It sounds so diplomatic, so euphemistic. Viewing things differently than before. The Knight of Swords. Defending yourself energetically, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast-thinking, defending beliefs. Viewing things differently than before. Being driven to succeed. Wow. And having a zest for life. Being driven to succeed, having a zest for life. Yeah, that's what you want from, like, an entrepreneur, someone starting a new business. Great. And the Queen of Pentacles says, I want the Queen of Pentacles to manage my business. You know, she's the working parent. She's responsible and practical. So here you have, like, you know, the spiritual part. You're driven to succeed. Here's the coordinating part where you synthesize a plan and you have a zest for life. You turn it into something fun. And now the Queen of Pentacles shows up and she's got the books under control. And then, speaking of the books under control, the Four of Pentacles says, pinch your pennies, hold on to your money, make plans for the future. Wow. I mean, it's a fun reading. I hope it comes true. You know, I hope it leads you to this guy sitting at the other end of that rainbow. Wow, dude. The Six of Pentacles shows up, says you're going to get paid. And the Ace of Pentacles says, you know, you got a brand new project, a new opportunity to succeed. There you go, Flix Love. Thanks a lot for inviting me to read. I mean, if you view things, if you view your entire dynamics as if, well, I'm starting this, I'm driven to succeed, I'm going to do it in a fun way, I'm going to manage it in a practical way, and then guess what? It's all part of the plan for me to get paid with this new opportunity. As long as you have that perspective, you're going to find that path, I presume, says some guy on the internet. Thanks for inviting me to read. Thank you, Flix Love. All right. Now, yay. I'm going to get Lisa Talcott's snow person out. Here we go, Lisa Talcott. These are the Ethereal Bloom cards. I got a Queen of Cups picture for you there. Queen of Cups being all empathic and caring. Always there to help. Whoa. All right, so this card wanted to come out. Queen of Swords, you were right. I'm going to put that at the beginning. All right. What's going on with my lights? There we go. That's better. Okay. So Lisa just asked a question. You know what? It's my show. Everyone else can fast forward or click or whatever. Well, I'll take time out to answer the question. So she asked, is it harder to read cards for yourself? I don't feel like it's harder. I just think it's kind of stunning. You know, I'm asking a question, and the more precise I get, the more precise the cards are. And it really feels like you're just conversing with someone and not just throwing little cards with pictures on them. Of course, when I do it, I'm writing out the script of what it has to say, as if I'm imagining the voice I hear is the voice coming through the messages in the card. I don't know if that answers the question. What I'm trying to say is it's just so spooky. Like a lot of you say, Breakaway Ray, that's exactly what was going on. Way to go. And then like I use it on myself. Well, dude, I don't need to know that much. It's too much. And I don't always agree with it. So I turn on the camera and I talk about it. Anyway, thanks for asking. Let's check out your reading here, Lisa. Oh, I see Danny is here. I'm sorry, Danny, if I missed you before. I have a snow person for you, Danny. All right, Mr. A, thank you very much for that feedback. I appreciate it. I want to just check and see if I have Danny Snow person here. Maybe Danny wants a reading. Yeah, Danny, I got it. Thank you, Lisa, for that feedback. Danny, I got your snow person. Yeah, okay. If you want a reading, Danny, I got your snow person ready on deck, okay? All right. And then where did I leave off? Oh, yeah, we're having fun with Lisa. And I didn't do the Lisa Talcott thing where I moved all the cards around. Okay. Yeah, you were right about something. All right, whatever this adventure is, you were right about it. Neon for Danny. Got it, Danny. All right, we'll take care of Danny in a minute. Let's check out Lisa's cards. We're all having fun. Thanks for joining me this morning. Here we go. Whoa, the Devil card. It's time to let something go. Wow. Geez, I hope this is not too literal. The Lover's card, the strength of two together. The Four of Wands. Oh, yay, there's a homecoming. Yeah, I want to see what all these cards have to say. I don't want to jump to conclusions here. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, destiny and fate. The Five of Wands, conflict. It's time to let something go, maybe even something that we found precious and treasured. Let's give it a good send-off because it's time to let it go before it creates a conflict. Time to take that energy and channel it to good use, or people are going to start squabbling over it. And the fact is, Lisa Talcott, you were correct when you said the Page of Wands I'm looking in the book. The Page of Wands. You feel fresh, cheerful, childlike, and full of energy. You are having bright ideas and new exciting plans. You are being creative, free thinking, and fearless. You are finding your passion, making discoveries, investments, or advancements in life. Just be careful not to rush into things without considering the consequences. I think I'm catching on here. I'm not saying you are in this position, but this reminds me of empty nesters. Okay. Empty nesters. Their kid went away to college. Now they have all this time together. Talk about homecoming. They get the house to themselves without the kid until the holidays when he or she comes home from college. Okay. But it's that time in our lives when we're ready to do this. It was wonderful what we did before, but we can leave it behind now. It's a wonderful memory. And we can move on to the next challenge, okay? Because we were right. The Page of Wands is it's time for us to start our new adventure. All right. Hey, that was a fun story to tell. Anyway, thanks a lot, Lisa. Appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Okay. And now, Danny, let me shuffle these. And she asked for the neon deck this time. Here we go. Ooh, longer show today. All right, these cards for Danny. Could we please have a fun, inspirational message? Danny, thank you. Great card today, Tarot World. Thanks a lot for making me look good. Appreciate it. Wow, Lisa, I just saw your message. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Wow. Here we go. These cards are for Danny. Look at you go, Tarot World. That's incredible. All right, Danny, I can't wait to see what cards you get. It's too much. Miracle in the Morning here on StarCard Podcast. Oh, you're kidding me. You also lead off with the Devil card, Danny. You have something to let go, perhaps. Anyone having a little sense of deja vu? There's the lovely Queen of Wands. She has the zest for life. She is courageous and determined. Wow. Hey, Danny, that's the High Priestess. She's like the witch, and I mean that in a good way. She understands the spirit world and can make things happen. Wow. These neon cards are very dramatic. Check it out. The Page of Cups talks about a happy surprise. That's like when the kid comes home from the carnival with a bag with a fish in it. The Page of Cups, happy surprise. Ooh, and then the Hermit, talking about going on a soul-searching mission. So what's going on here? We let something go, and we decided to be determined to learn about the spirit world. And what a happy surprise. We discovered something when we turned inward. What did we discover? The Empress and the Three of Swords. So we discovered the Empress, who, she's the most desirable card to have as far as energies go. You're the most comfortable. There's the most abundance. There's the most power and influence. And then the Three of Swords, well, I don't know if this is the case, but I'm trying to read the cards straight up the way they are. You might find yourself in a position like the Empress, where everything is gorgeous and wonderful, but at the same time, you also have a keen view of, what could cause pain. Maybe even something from long ago that we need to let go, which I think was part of the message, right? If we let it go, we're going to be sitting pretty like the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Wands. Well, I hope that was a hopeful, interesting message. Very good, Danny. That's the way the cards came out. It's for entertainment purposes only. I wish you a lot of luck. I do appreciate you being here. Oh, it makes sense. That's awesome. You're welcome, Danny. Thank you. You guys have no idea how much you're helping me with feedback like that. Thanks a lot, Danny. All right. I haven't heard from anybody else, so I'm going to sing God's Flow's name here and throw some cards for her. I know I got the pronoun right today. Yeah, shows you how psychic I am. I can't even tell what gender everyone is. Oh, gold foil today. You got it. Sweet. Yeah. Let's unbox it for you. There we go, God's Flow. We got the 2 of Cups all ready for you. Hey, Judy, I just got your message. I appreciate it so much. You people watching StarCard Podcast are so nice to me. I miss you every time I turn off the camera. Let's throw some cards for God's Flow. So hilarious. Yeah, right on, God's Flow. All right, let's give it a throw. The shiny foil card for God's Flow. I bet there's something musical in here. Hey, it was a good show with the 2 of Cups. Does that card want to come out? I think so. All right. First up, it's the 3 of Pentacles. It talks about starting a new project, into implementing something. It also talks about working together. And I don't know, it almost looks like someone's singing in a choir there. Am I pushing that one a little too hard? Let's see. Ooh, the Hangman, viewing things differently than before. Yeah, once you got started and you could see where it was going, you looked at it differently. Wow. And then you charged forward energetically. It's the Knight of Wands. Yeah, that's great. Like you found the football rolling around on the field and you picked it up and you started running for the end zone. Sweet. Hey, the 2 of Wands says you have a good plan. The universe likes your plan. You have the green light, go. And the 4 of Pentacles shows up again in the 5th position and reminds you to save for the future, save for a rainy day. Pinch your pennies. Don't splurge on the big steak dinner just yet. Wow. Check it out, everybody. The Devil card is showing up everywhere. So here's the Devil card telling us to let something go. I just read your note. Very adorable, God's Flow. And then the Ace of Swords. So if the Devil card is reminding us to let something go, look at what it's telling us to hold on to. The truth. You know, there's a hand literally holding on to that sword of truth. So let go of what doesn't serve you anymore and just hold on to the truth. Hey, God's Flow, thanks for inviting me to read. And I want to thank everybody for helping me with my therapy this morning. I hope you have a good day. And I look forward to seeing you next time at StarCard Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and comment. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.